a Puerto voy para Mayarí.
My name is Luis Molina. I'm a Cuban guy, a Cuban artist. I was living in Cuba until 1980. I left Cuba in 1980 by Mariel. It was 125,000 Cubans that escaped from Castro. So I came in that way. And in Cuba, I was graduated in the art school of Cuba, that the name is San Alejandro. It's the most old art school in Cuba, and it was very famous. So I was graduating in 1972. After that, I was working in different places, like diversity belonged to the government, so I was working for the government, and I was for decorations in different hotels, restaurants, and different cafeterias or whatever for decorations. So until 1980s. In 1980s came Mariel. That was the opportunity to escape from Cuba. So in that way I came by boat in that way in 1980. But I was to live in New York because my sponsor, the one that the people, when you came, I don't have no family, I don't have no friends, I don't have nothing. So I need somebody that take me out from the military place that they put me here. They put me in some place. It was a military place. So somebody came, that was my friend, that I knew him from Cuba. His name is Marco, and he and his wife was my sponsor at that time. So I get out, but they was living in New York. So I stay in New York, and I stayed in New York for 20 years. And 20 years was okay for me because I used to have 4 business in New York, because I became a floral designer, and this was my opportunity to make some money, in that way. But also always I was painting all the time, so I have my little space where I was working in whatever I do, because I am a fine art artist. So I do both things at the same time, and that's the opportunity that I have to have some money to bring my family here to United States. So when I was living there for 20 years in New York, after that I decided to move. I brought my family, and my family, because you know that here is very cold weather. So for my family that was already old, I brought my family, and they stay here in Miami. And then I decided, like 19 years ago, to move to Miami. So my mother and my father died already. They already died. I have a brother also, but he's alive. He lives here. He's younger than me. And then I have the opportunity to have my own gallery and studio here in Little Havana. My art is about the Cuban culture in general. So the right place for me when I came to Miami, because I was living in New York. New York is a city, it's a big city. In that time, Miami wasn't in that way. So I was thinking where I can put my business, because it's a business beside that. Besides being my studio and my gallery, it's a business. So I used to have a lot of people walking around my places, my business. And here in Miami, there is a different style of life. So I decided that maybe I was looking and I find out Little Havana. Little Havana is the right place for me because my culture is from Cuba. And then what I'm painting is about Cuba also. So the right place for me was here. And then my partner, Mario, because I have a partner, business partner, and we decided to put the business here. So we are here 19 years I came from New York, but I'm here, we opened about 18 years in the same place. It's rented. But we are 18 years here, and we think that we're going to be a little more. Let's see what is going to happen.